the most bottomness of your thumb. Wow, lean. Okay, so today's video is gonna be a class kind of video. I'm really excited to share some signs that I think are really important for people to know during this time. It's already very hard for hard of hearing and deaf people to live in the world that we live in because there's a lot of things that are not accessible to them. Basically, there's Arabic Sign Language, there's German Sign Language, there's Spanish Sign Language. This video is gonna be focused on American Sign Language because I have a minor in that. I mean, that's what I studied, so I can't teach you anything that I don't know. I need you to work with me. If you're holding your phone, put it on this side, and this is the sign for sign, so sign with me. The only way to learn a sign is by practicing, so please practice with me. Okay, first of all, I have to teach you some basic things. So in sign language, facial expressions and a couple of other things are the grammar of sign language. For example, if you were signing the sign sick, you have to show the facial expression because it has to make sense. Another thing, whatever hand you write with, you have more control over is your dominant hand. So for me, I write with my right hand, so this is my dominant hand, this is my helper hand. Now that you know that, we can get started. There's a couple of signs that I've been seeing around. So this one, I have no idea why there are two I's. This is the letter I. I think maybe because like wall place, like you're in a place. This one makes more sense to me. L, down a little bit, doom. So place, and then this is a classifier. So if you were telling a story and you wanted to say like a person is walking, you would go like this. So this is classifying a person. The sign for alone is this, so it makes sense. Place, alone, quarantine, or quarantine. Use whichever you like. Next sign, sick. So with both of your hands, you're gonna bring your middle finger down at like a 45-degree angle. Your dominant hand is gonna go to your head and your helper hand is gonna go to your chest / stomach area. You're gonna just wiggle it back and forth. You're wiggling it because you're unstable when you're sick. So sick. I feel sick. Isolation. So just put your helper hand flat with your dominant hand. Give me an I. Remember like how this is alone, that circular motion? With the I, this is isolation. You know how coronavirus looks like a virus, you know? It's a ball and it has some spikes. That's the sign for it. This is why I love sign language. It makes so much sense. Okay, so with your helper hand, you're gonna put an S. This is an S. With your dominant hand, you can start it like this or you can start it with an S and you do the spikes. So coronavirus. Coronavirus. Virus is two signs put together. Sick and spread. We already know sick. Sick is this. Spread, which is this. So it would be sick spread. Virus. Remember, sick, you could be sick from your head or from your stomach and you're spreading it. So virus. Disease is very similar to sick, but you could do it with D's. One at your head, one on your chest, stomach area. Disease. For COVID-19, you would really just spell it, so COVID-19. You can slow down this video if you'd like, if you really want to memorize. So this is C-O-V-I-D, and this is 19. In future videos, we're gonna go through the alphabet and numbers, so this will all make sense for you later on, but I just thought that maybe right now, because this is what we're going through, this is what I'm teaching. 19 is also signed, it's either this or this, whatever you like. Self-explanatory, wash your hands. You just act out washing your hands. Must. You must wash your hands, my guy, you must. Need is you move it up and down a little bit more. Must is just, you know, must. Need, mask. Pretty straightforward. Seize, mask. Health. You start off with your hands open on your body, and as you go out, you close your hands. Health. I don't know if you need to see a side profile. Health. Doctor. You can sign it in two different ways. You can choose whichever you want. The first way would be D with your dominant hand, and your hand is facing upwards with your hand open. On your wrist, the inside of your wrist, you're gonna tap D. Or your hand is open, closes down a little bit, you know the queen, how she, this is basically the handshake that you're gonna do. Doctor. So doctor, it's kind of like they're checking your pulse. And then nurse is the same thing, but with the letter N. So nurse. Need doctor? Need nurse? Hospital is very easy, so you're gonna be putting the letter H, and as for the Red Cross, you know, the cross, hospital. Social distancing, social distancing. Or if you would like, social distancing. So with both of your hands, you're gonna put classifiers for distancing or distancing. So social distancing. This is the one that I use more often. And then there's physical distancing. So physical distancing, body distancing. We're not really socially distancing ourselves from people because of the great internet. Safety, safe. Safety. You're gonna make a cross. Your dominant hand is closer to your chest and your helper hand is over it. With both of your hands, you're gonna be signing the letters S. Safety. A lot of us are bored. It's kind of like you're picking your nose. Please don't pick your nose. This is why we're quarantined. Clean your hands. So you would show it as well with your facial expressions. Procrastinating. This is something that a lot of us do. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make F with both of your hands, put them together, and you're gonna move your dominant hand forward like it's jumping like a bunny. Procrastinating. This also interprets to delay. So a lot of our events are being delayed. It also works with procrastination. World is W with both of your hands. You're gonna bring your hands in and then move them around each other. World. With pandemic, you either spell it, so pandemic. Obviously, because this is my first video, I'm gonna teach you guys the alphabets later on. Or you could use more than one sign to explain what pandemic means. You could sign coronavirus, spread, world, all over. So this is the world. All over the world, coronavirus, spread. Or virus, all around the world. Flatten the curve. You don't have to, you know, it's a curve. We're trying to flatten it. It's not straight, but we're trying to flatten it. Home. Y'all got to stay at home. With your dominant hand, close your hand like this, not like this, not like this. All your fingers are put together and you start at your chin and you go up to, what is this called? Home. Important. Like for example, it's important for you to stay home. You're gonna be putting F, both of your hands, putting them together, facing them down, put them a little bit down and upwards. They go away from each other and together. Very important. It's important. Work. Work. You're gonna be doing A's with your hands, and with your dominant hand on your helper hand, you're kind of tapping your wrist on, what would you call this area? The most bottomness of your thumb. Working from home. Work. So, online classes with both of your hands is C. Your thumbs are touching and then it goes around. So you know how in a class you're all together? Class. In sign language, they do this motion to explain a group. When you're in class, you're with a group. Group is G and around. Team is T and around. So classes. School, your hands flat open, close, not spread out. You tap twice, so schools. So closed or close. So a lot of schools have been closed. So schools have closed, events also closed, they got delayed, events. Events is with both middle fingers out at your outer chest area, events. Symptoms. This is, let's say this is a piece of paper and there's a bunch of symptoms on it and you say this one, this is the one that I have. This is how I memorized it. So symptoms, symptoms. So your helper hand is the paper and your dominant hand is the one that's telling this one. Coughing. With your dominant hand, tap, not too hard, don't hurt yourself. Facial expression. In sign language, temperature is your helper hand facing out, pointing upwards with your index finger. Dominant hand is with your index finger behind your helper hand, going up and down, just like the thermometer. And then you can use that for fever, or some people use the back of your hand on your head, which makes sense. Fever. Breathing is both of your hands flat, close your fingers. Your dominant hand is higher than your helper hand, and it's on your chest, and that's breathing. Act it out with your facial expressions, either that or breathing hard. So the sign for hard, number 2, with both of your hands, and then bring them down, face them towards each other. Dominant hand is tapping on the helper hand. Hard. So stuck. We all might feel stuck during this pandemic, stuck at home, mentally stuck. That is all for today's video. I really hope that you liked it because I genuinely really love sign language, and I didn't know if I should start now teaching sign language or if I should delay it, but because we're in quarantine, I'm thinking let's have fun with it. Send me a DM. Comment down below, let me know what kind of signs you want to learn. I really hope you practiced with me. I hope you learned a thing or two. It's not a hard language to learn, and it's very important to learn it because you never know when you might meet someone who needs help communicating with someone who might be being very ignorant in a restaurant. If they're trying to order something and the waitress is being really arrogant or annoying. I've been put in that situation and I couldn't watch it. I turned around and I asked them if they wanted help communicating to the waiter what they wanted to order, and they said yes. With a minor in sign language, I cannot work as an interpreter, but I can advocate for their right. I feel very passionately about this. I think it shows. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I know a lot of people want to learn it. I have tutored people. Teaching it to people brings me so much happiness and so much fulfillment. I think if you guys watch this video and you learn a couple of signs and you keep practicing and I see you in person and you show me what you learned and what you remember from this video, it would mean the world to me. Tell me you guys noticed the sign language embroidery art that I did. If you did not watch that video, definitely go check it out. I'll put a card on the top. It's like a step-by-step process on how I did that. So if you want something this cute, definitely check that video out. Think about or don't think about, press that subscribe button and join the family. Check out my latest video and my most viewed video to see what the whole hype is about. I'm lying, there's no hype, but let's hype it up. Have a good day.